Jeff Dewit then resigned. And right now, as far as I can tell, he's kind of claiming that he was a victim here. He's saying she was a friend. I was employing her when she did this to me. She breached her fiduciary duty to me as my employee, which is not, Jeff, the way it works.
which I'm not his employee.
Yeah, that's not how it goes. And then he says the following. He says, this offer had everything to do with her being a drag on the ticket. There are people who want to make sure we win the election, and that's it. No one believes she can get across the finish line, particularly with independents. I definitely felt like we were in a better position of trust because of all I had done for her. I'm blown away. She had no respect for that at all. So what do you make of that?
He wrote a 2-page resignation letter, and I never heard an apology for this incredibly unethical, hinging almost on criminal behavior. Never an apology to the people of Arizona. It was a 2-page diatribe manifesto. It's almost like he's delusional to think that was creative editing. I put 10, almost 11 minutes of this bribe out, and I don't know how you could edit that any difference. I laid it out, what he said. And so I don't know how that could be taken out of context. It's exactly what he said. And he never even apologized for that behavior. I'm embarrassed, actually. I'm truly embarrassed for him. And that they was trying to say this is kind of normal business talk. This is kind of how you get deals made. I've been in business, and I've got lots of friends. He was saying this was a friendly conversation. I've got lots of friends. I've never had a conversation like that. And I'm sure, Megyn, you have thousands upon thousands of people who own businesses, work in business, who listen to you every day, who heard that and would say that they would never, ever have a conversation like that in any way in business. And I don't know anybody who thinks that's normal.
How much is it going to take? I mean, it was explicit. How much is it going to take to make you not run, to deprive the people of a choice who's very, very popular in the state? And as for his concern about how you would do with independents, I mean, the latest polling, including by the Democrat election firms, are showing you're either in the lead or right behind. I mean, it's very tight. Looking past the primary, I'm saying you're definitely leading in the primary, but looking at the general, this is not a case where, the Republican has no chance. We need to get the most moderate Republican we can possibly get. No, it's not that case. You could very well win this race if nominated, according to the polls out this month. So it does make you wonder what was really behind it and whether it was more your alignment, as you were suggesting in the conversation, with Trump.
I think that's exactly what it is. The polling, our internal polling and several polls I've seen, especially even polls that came out after the election, show that I'm the most popular Republican candidate with independents. I mean, you have to remember, I was in the homes of Arizonans for 27 years, 3 hours a day in their living rooms. And I was in Democrats' homes and independents, and not a week goes by that I don't have Democrats come up to me and say, I voted for you. You're the first Republican I ever voted for. And I don't have extreme policies. My policies are policies that Democrats and independents want. You ask any Democrat and independent right now, do you want the border secure? They're going to say yes. Do you want safe streets where you can actually, especially here in Arizona, enjoy our weather, go for a bike ride, take a hike, and not have to worry about the crime that's skyrocketing? We have policies to make sure that all Arizonans are safe, policies to make sure that our kids go to school and get a world-class education where they're actually ready for the jobs that are out there. So, policies for energy independence, once again, like President Trump brought us. The people of Arizona want those common sense policies. So I don't know what it's about. I think it truly is about getting somebody in there that they control. I'm not sure if this one talked about the back scratching. He said DC is a back scratching club. And you've already indicated you're not going to scratch backs. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not joining the back scratching club. I'm going to start up the ass kicking club. And that's what Washington, D.C. needs. The fact that, Megyn, these people in D.C. have done nothing to secure our border, when for the last few years we've had an invasion on our border. I mean, this is a dereliction
it's interesting, Kari. You said invasion early on, and I remember you got a lot of guff about it. And now we have an actual official declaration to that extent by the Texas governor, Greg Abbott. And as I said at the top of the hour, it's turning into a serious constitutional crisis down there because of the non-enforcement by the feds. A lot of the things that you said that you got, negative coverage on have come back actually to bear out.
To be true.
The election denialism is what sort of party elders didn't like. But I will say this, most of the Republican Party agrees with you. Whether it's factually true or not, most of the Republican Party agrees with where you landed on it. I don't want to get back into all that, but let me ask you this, because
and I will tell you this real quickly.
Yeah.
Independents are concerned about how our elections are run. 60+% of independents are concerned about fairness and honesty in our elections, and a growing number, more than 30% now, of Democrats say something's not right. And all I will say is I am pushing to make sure that all voters, whether they're the most liberal Arizonan, the most conservative, they're with the Republican Party, the Democrat, Independent Party, the Pizza Party, or the Pool Party, whatever you are, I want you to know that when you vote, you can feel comfortable and confident that your one legal vote counted. So that's where we want to get. I won't belabor the issue, but I'm still working to achieve that.
Good. I mean, everyone should agree on that. Okay, a couple more things from his statement, which is very lengthy and people can find online. But he says it was selectively edited audio of a private conversation. Now, is that true? Was it edited in any way other than, for time, or like what did you edit it at all?
It was edited. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. It was edited just to include this part about the bribe. I thought that was the newsworthy part.
So you cut off a chunk. So that the chunk that we listened to, not what we just played, we edited that just to get the most salient points. But what you posted online, or what's been posted online,
the part you put up was I think Benny Johnson kind of edited it down.
We did. But I think we did that.
The clip about the bribe was about I don't know 10 or 11 minutes. And, I had to move him out of my house quickly. As I said, I had a lot going on. I was under a deadline with my book.
But I'm just making sure. So you weren't taking like one line of his and then slicing it and putting in a different response of yours. That's what's dishonest selective editing, as you know.
Right. No, that's not how it was. I just took the bribe part and said, this is what's worthy. This is the reason we have an unethical person, and people need to hear this.
Yeah. No, I got it. I don't know how you could put it out.
I don't know how you could selectively. I mean, he said what he said. This isn't
so
like
I pulled one sentence here and
one.
Were you taping him?
He had called me. And said, "Hey, what are you up to?" And I said, "Well, I'm at home. I'm just, I'm busy working." He said, "I'm right around the corner. I'm just outside of your neighborhood, and I got to come over and talk to you." And I, at the time, I had been talking, and there had been some word that I was thinking of getting in the Senate race. A lot of polling had come out showing that nobody could beat me, and that we had a real shot at taking back the Senate seat. And there were some people who were trying to talk me out of it. Some of the, non-MAGA type people don't want a MAGA person in Washington, D.C. And so I said, Jeff, if this is about talking me out of the Senate, I don't have time for this. So no, I got to come over. What I have to tell you, I cannot do on the phone. I have to do it in person. I got to talk to you about something you need to hear and offer. You got to hear it. And I thought, this is weird. So he's right around the corner. I said, okay, you can come over right now. And I put a microphone on, and I thought this could be a threat. I don't know what he's about to say, but it gave me great concern. You ever get just like a feeling in your stomach where you just go, something's not right here? And I'm sure glad I did.
The pressure to conform to political correctness has undeniably suppressed genuine debate, and it's time we put a stop to it. Enter Freedom 2.0. I love this. Listen to this. It's a bottled water company, an unapologetic one that proudly supports the freedom to speak, to think, and to listen. We can't afford to remain silent anymore. It's crucial to make our support for the First Amendment crystal clear. And one impactful way to do so is by choosing products from companies that share our values. Visit freedom20.com and use the code MK for a 15% discount when you get there, to stand with me and millions of other Americans in celebrating the right to free speech. Remember, freedom is not inherited. It's something we must actively fight for. So raise your voice. Grab your bottle of Freedom 2.0 and make a statement. Cheers to Freedom 2.0. That's Freedom 2.0, like the letter O, not Freedom 2.0 when you're typing it in. And champion the power of free speech. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.